Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. As you can tell, this is my entry for the NYX Face Awards 2019 and I am Rhea of Sunshine Beauty. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this peacock inspired look. So first we're going to start how to create the feather collar. To start this look you will need some cable ties. I decided to use the 14-inch ones for my look. And then you'll also need this keychain holder. I used about 100 of those zip ties, so make sure you get enough for whatever size look that you're doing. What we're going to do is start to adhere those zip ties to the keychain holder. And this is quite the process, you guys. It's just one of those tedious ones. It's not hard, it just takes a long time. So continue to add all of those zip ties and do not put them all the way to the end where they cannot move at all. You want to have a little bit of room so that you can maneuver them around to see where they fit best. Then you'll continue to place those zip ties over and over, making sure that they are nicely snug, at least adhered to the keychain holder. Continue this process until you get all the way around to the other side. Once you get to the desired amount that you want, as I mentioned, I used about 100, you can feel free to start maneuvering them around to really figure out the density that you want for your look. In the next shot, you'll see that I actually spray painted these, but that is totally optional because I ended up using so many feathers you didn't even see it, but that is something you could do. Now we're going to start to cut the front. I wanted to cut them at an angle so it started as though they were shorter in the front and then extended out larger to the back. So that's what I'm doing here. I also used a little hairdresser trick here. You can just flip it up, see if it matches on the other side, just so that they look identical and that they're not totally off balance. As you can see, I'm really just doing this at an angle just so they start to have that nice V shape. Once you've cut them to the length that you want, now you want to start with the feathers. As you can see, I have some peacock feathers, some green feathers, some blue and purple ones as well. What you're going to do is adhere some feathers and then one peacock feather to each of the spokes. So again, this is going to take some time. This took about 3 hours to make. Using some hot glue from the hot glue gun, I'm going to start to adhere those feathers, the blue and green and purple ones. What you're going to do is place those down first and then do a line of glue and then put a peacock feather on top of it. You're literally going to do this for every single spoke. Some spokes are going to be so long that you're going to have to put multiple feathers on it and multiple peacock feathers. So just keep that in mind that you do have enough peacock feathers. I actually got 100 packs, so that is about what I used for this look. Be very careful when you're using a hot glue gun. Of course, you want to be careful not to burn your fingers. Of course, I did a million times, but you got to do what you got to do to get this perfect peacock collar, right? So I'm just going to let you watch, and essentially there isn't really a pattern that I'm doing besides putting the feathers down first and then the peacock feather on top of it. You'll see I kind of alternate between the blue and the purple and the green feathers first, and I put those all down first and then went back and put the peacock feathers down on top of them. That's the whole process, you guys. I'll go ahead and let you watch. After many hours, this is the final product. It is so stunning, and definitely keep this because you can use it for many things in the future. Now we're going to move on to the face and body makeup. What we're going to do first is outline the face just using a brow pencil from NYX, and we're going to go ahead and outline the face of the peacock and the body. You can see I already have a V shape on my chest. That's where the actual peacock collar goes, so I know to kind of stay inside those lines where I'm painting. Using a water-activated paint, this is a blue shade, I'm going to start to outline the peacock's face. There's going to be a lot of blending of colors in this look. I feel like peacocks are very majestic. They don't just have blocks of color. They are all different colors and shades. So that's what I'm doing here, is just placing down the blue. You'll see next I go in with a teal water-activated paint and start to blend those together. Water-activated paints are great because they do blend really well, especially when you use a brush with just water on it. Because as you can see right here, it doesn't look very blended, but don't worry about it. You blend it all together afterward, also using shadows as well. The third paint color that we're going to be using is a metallic green, and we're just placing that in the center where we don't have any paint so far. And again, we're going to be blending them all together just to make them look a little bit more cohesive, but really give that beautiful, iridescent, very vibrant, majestic look. Now moving to the eye of the peacock, we're going to start with this light blue shimmer shade, and we're going to place this all over the lid. This is going to be our base, and then we're going to build it up from there. Next, we're going to be going in with a navy blue eyeshadow and really start to define that crease area much more. Placing down that shade first, and then we're going to go in with a large fluffy brush and really blend it out so it looks a lot more smoked out. I use many reference pictures to build the eye and the whole face for this peacock, so absolutely use those if you think it would be helpful for you. I then went in with a white water activated paint and started to create this line above and below. Again, using a reference picture, they have these beautiful white feathers above and below their eye, so I decided to do a winged liner, not bringing it all the way across the lid, but really focusing it on the bottom of the eye and then creating this feather-like line above the eye. Using a little bit more of that metallic green water activated paint, I'm just going to start to fill in the remainder of the face, again, just to give it more dimension. Next, we're going to redraw that nose. I didn't like it the first time I did it. All I'm using is that white water activated paint and just creating this beak and filling it in with the white paint. We'll go back later and create some more lines. Now we're using some eyeshadow just to shade underneath the neck on the outside just to bring it a little bit more to life. Again, using that navy blue eyeshadow to create more dimension underneath the eyes, underneath the white that we did. We're going to continue that shading all around the face and then move on to the gemstones, the fun part. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at all these gemstones, all different sizes. Using some lash glue, I'm starting to adhere those gemstones, the tiniest ones from that bunch, right underneath the eyes. I'm doing 2 lines. This is a very tedious process, as the rest of this tutorial has been. I also did some on the top of the eye as well, and I also wanted to outline in a little bit larger gemstones all around the top of the face. I didn't want to bring it all the way down the body because I felt as though that's a different texture below. So I'm really just focusing those gemstones just on the face, but feel free to put the gemstones wherever you see fit. I'm shading a little bit underneath where the gemstones end, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Going back to the nose, we're going to use this NYX Professional Makeup That's the Point eyeliner just to outline the nose and make it look a little bit more like a beak. Now we're going to prime the other side of the face using the NYX Angel Veil Primer, and I'm just using my fingers to blend this into the skin and prepare it for the foundation. Today for foundation, we're using the Total Control Drop Foundation from NYX Cosmetics. I'm just placing this on my face and then blending it in with a beauty sponge, being very careful around where the peacock is just to make sure we don't move any of those crystals. Once you're done blending in all the foundation, we're going to go in with some concealer. This is the Gotcha Covered Waterproof Concealer from NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just using my finger to blend this in the under eye area as well as on the forehead and the chin just to brighten up those T-zone areas. Then I'm going to blend it in with that beauty sponge and then set it. We're using the Set It and Don't Fret It Light Medium Finishing Powder from NYX Cosmetics. And now we're going to contour the cheeks a bit. We're using the Wonder Stick. This is an amazing product, you guys. I use it all the time. Just going to put this on the places where I would normally contour. And I'm just using a brush to blend it in. And this is just a beautiful cream step to do before using powder. Once you're done blending in all the cream products, you're going to go in and set it with some powder products. As you can see, I use this product quite often. I absolutely love this contour palette from NYX. And we're just going to set that cream powder and really continue to carve out those cheekbones. Next, we're using the Ombre blush from NYX and Strictly Chic just to warm up those cheekbones. And then we're going to move on to some highlight. This is the Born to Glow palette. I pretty much used all 3 of those shades you can see. I doused it in some Dewy Mist from NYX. And then I continue to place it on the highest points of the cheekbones to really give this peacock some glow. Now we're going to do the brows. We are using the Tame Frame Pomade from NYX Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Black. Nothing fancy here. We're just filling in the brows just as we normally would. Now we're going to prime the eyes for the shadow. Use your favorite eye primer. And we're going to be using the same techniques that we did on the peacock eye. We're just using some different colors. So you'll see here I'm using the purple to really deepen up the crease first. Then on top of that, we're going to be using a blue and a green. So I continue to use that process by adding down the shadows, really packing on that pigment, and then blending so they look all nice and seamlessly blended together. Once you have blended until you can't blend anymore, we're going to go ahead and cut that crease. So using a concealer, we're going to go ahead and start to cut that beautiful crease, just clean it up a little bit more. We're just staying as close to that crease as possible and really just cleaning it up. We're going to be placing that same eyeshadow that we did on the other eye on this lid. This is just a shimmery blue eyeshadow. And we're just going to cover the entire lid with it and also do a white eyeliner just like we did on the other side, except we're bringing it all over the entire lid as opposed to the other side where we only just brought it to the outer corner. I'm also going to be using some blue eyeshadow. This is more of an iridescent duochrome eyeshadow, and placing that a little bit over that white eyeliner just to give it a little bit more dimension and not make it so white on this side. And then clean it up and pop on some lashes. Use your favorite lashes. I thought these were perfect for the look. They were very dramatic, and I absolutely love how they came out. For the lower lash line, we're just going to do some eyeshadows and just smoke it out. Nothing fancy. We're just using the same shades as we did above. So we're going to use the green, the blue, and the purple, and then put some black eyeliner in the waterline of both eyes. We're also going to put some mascara on the lower lash lines. Just use your favorite mascara. And then we're going to outline the Peacock, again, using that's the point liner from NYX Cosmetics. You can also use a black paint, whatever works best for you. And then comes the fun part. So what I did here is actually created my own split cake. I just put 2 water activated paints next to each other, a light and a dark. And we're doing a technique here called one stroke painting. And what you're going to do is, as you can see, I'm placing these little circles, and you'll have the lighter portion on the outside, darker portion on the inside. We will still be doing some highlighting and some shading later, but this helps tremendously. It does the highlighting and shading pretty much for you. So I'll let you just watch. It is definitely a technique that is hard to learn at first, but once you get it, it's so easy and saves you so much time painting. So that's what we're doing here, is creating those feathers. I'm also going to draw some lines on the bottom of the peacock's body, but we're going to go back to those in a few and add some glitter. But first, we really want to go back to shading of the feathers. So I'm using a dark green eyeshadow to make those shadows even deeper. Essentially, what you want to happen is imagine that the feathers are going on top of each other. They would create a natural shadow. So we're just deepening up that shadow here to make it look a little bit more realistic. You can see the difference already from the right side to the left. It is a huge difference, and I would definitely recommend this step. So I'm just continuing with that green eyeshadow, again, adding it where I feel as though a shadow would naturally be. Using this glitter liner from NYX, I'm going to go ahead and just create a little bit of dimension using glitter, but not too much. I didn't want it to take away from any of the other dramatic pieces, but just putting a little bit of glitter on the feathers. Using this glitter glue from NYX Cosmetics, we're going to start to place that down just on those scaly areas at the bottom of the peacock's body, and then going in with a very fine blue glitter, I'm just going to place this just in those areas. You may need to go over the black spots with the eyeliner again, but I think the combo of the glitter with the rest of it really brings this all together. For the lips, we're going to be using a metallic blue liquid lipstick and also using a teal just in the center to create a nice ombre look. And this is the final step. So throw on a wig, throw on the peacock collar that we created earlier. I also added in some spokes above the peacock's head that you'll see. And that's the final look, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I loved creating this look. Please give it a thumbs up if you like this look. Please comment below and also subscribe if you aren't already. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.